right.
Wait, what's that noise coming from?
I don't know. Hello,
That
everyone. Listen to this noise. Listen to this weird noise. It's in a tab somewhere.
got it.
Whoa. See, we handle that tab. Like, just wrangle that tab. All right, you guys. We are here with Rachel Starkweather, our co-host for Curious Crossroads, and Lesley Francis. And today we are doing a Lesley Francis Grill Part 2. So we are going to grill Lesley Francis, who is the host of Astro Soup, which is a podcast, kind of specializing in what's going on astrologically in any given week, and it's also a variety show. So that's what Astro Soup is. And so, Rachel, do you want to start us off with our first question?
Yeah, my first question is, how did you guys meet and start working together?
I don't remember how long ago it was that we met at Norwalk.
Maybe 20 years.
I went to one of your lectures and then it's kind of all a blur. No.
And then life happened.
Well, no, and then we reconnected, and I think that was 2024.
Yeah.
And you and Shayna and we had a lovely time, and then I was president of the Edmonton Astrological Society at the time, and I invited Andrea to do a workshop for us. And as she was introducing herself, she said, "And I produce podcasts." And my little spidey senses went, yes, because I'd been thinking about doing Astro Soup for quite some time. And yeah, I really like to collaborate, and that's kind of how it started. I think we all, I have to honestly say that meeting Andy again, like reconnecting, was one of the most fun things about that particular conference, only because you said such glowing and lovely things about me, Andy. My little Leo ascendant went, okay. Exactly, Rachel. That's exactly.
Yeah, no one made me do that either. I just felt that way. No, and I'll tell you how I met Lesley. I remember, I was a young Astro conference goer. I was a student. I was a newbie, and Lesley just had like the best style and the best vibe. And we would talk, but she always had her nails done and her cool hair, and she was just so cool. So every Norwalk that I was at, we'd end up talking for just different reasons, and then. Yeah, and then I didn't see you for a few years because I had been out of the circuit because kids.
I noticed you weren't there.
That's right. So when I reappeared, then we reconnected, and then, and then it just was all over.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Yes.
Are we not supposed to be live on YouTube?
We are.
We are live.
Oh, it's only because, never mind. Apparently I know nothing about technology, and I really should just stop talking when I want to ask.
Why do you think we're not live?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah. No,
I shouldn't ask those questions.
No, you can ask any question.
We could have caught something. It could have been very important.
Yeah, we have no perfection expectation here, so we're just.
I have Saturn in Virgo.
Yeah, I know. So you're trying to get the perfect grilled steak, and we're just trying to get a hot dog done. I don't know. We're just
Wait. So you have Saturn in the second house?
I do.
Oh my gosh. So do I.
No, there's a comment.
Yeah. What's your biggest advice for Saturn in the second?
Well, a lot of it depends on what aspects it's making. In my case,
of course.
So some of the aspects are not happiness inducing. I really think that it's important that you look beyond some of the more traditional assignments part of the second house. It really is deeply connected to how you view yourself and what your self-worth is, and trying to also, Saturn in the second is somebody who is going to work really hard. That's one of the greater positives about it. It's like, I can say that, once you get your teeth, the bit between your teeth, it's like, it's hard not to want to see things through to their conclusion. Because, of course, Saturn really is about consequences, results, what's at the end of the road kind of thing.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I have a question, which is, do you have any regrets in life?
Um, just one. I'm not a person given to regrets. I'm more likely to ask myself why I chose to do something as opposed to going, that was a fuck up or a mistake. In fact, I do have a saying that goes something like this: there's no such thing as a mistake, just a choice that had consequences you hadn't planned on.
Oh, interesting.
My one regret is connected to, and I think probably any woman who's had children, or most women who've had children, if there's any space and place where you might have regrets, it's likely going to be connected to your kids.
Hmm. Are you going to tell us what it is?
Um, well, I was in a very difficult relationship, and I always try to moderate my words um, because I don't want it to be a take pot shots at the person that I used to be married to. Uh, I just know that I spent a lot more time paying attention to his needs than to my children's needs. And of course, we ended up separating, divorcing, and then it was much easier for me to focus my attention on my kids.
Hmm. Interesting. So, yeah, it doesn't matter what the man needs, is what I'm hearing. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Well, not to put too fine a point on it, if they don't give a rat's ass about your needs, why should they care about theirs?
Yeah, it's all fair. You got to be fair.
Well, so here's the interesting thing. I Given all Aquarius energy that I have and Pluto in my ascendant, if you ask me a question, I'm going to answer it as honestly as I possibly can without throwing anybody under the bus.
Oh, that's very nice of you. Yeah.
Well, but I have to look myself in the mirror every day. I don't have to look at anybody else. And I have to look at myself in the mirror and I have to feel that what I chose to do reflects who I think I am. Not, yeah.
Yeah, I
Well,
think that's really important when you live on camera. It's like you have to be really cognizant of everything you say and every choice you make of how you express yourself and what narrative you create about things that have happened. And so I think that's really smart, you know?
thank
Um,
you.
yeah. All right, Rachel.
Oh, it's a really easy question, this one. Do you have any tattoos?
No.
Oh, I didn't know that one. I didn't know that one. No
If you
tattoo.
were gonna get a tattoo, what would it be?
Oh, what cropped up is butterfly, only because I've never thought about it because I've never wanted to do it. My way of expressing my style has more to do with jewelry than. Um,
Yeah.
Plus,
Well,
I'm
with
very sensitive, so the thought of anybody poking me with yeah, no,
needles. Yeah.
no,
Well, that
no,
that makes
no.
sense. Pluto on the ascendant and transformation and butterfly. I love it. That's great.
Oh, well, there you go.
How do you know Leslie's chart? Was it from our last grill?
I've done some research.
Okay, hit me. No.
So you found Leslie's chart.
Well, not all of it, because actually what I'm really curious about is what your Venus is. I haven't found that one, that placement mentioned.
Okay, well, so no problem. My attitude is, if you think you know me by looking at my chart, think again.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely.
So I have Venus in Aquarius in the sixth house, conjunct Mercury. I have 5 planets in Aquarius.
Hmm.
Mercury at 1, Venus at 3, the Moon at 15, the Descendants at 15, Jupiter at 17, and the Sun at 26.
Oh, wow. Your sun trines my Venus.
Oh, that's nice. I like that.
Wow, you guys.
Gemini or Libra?
What?
I said Gemini or Libra.
Oh, you know what? I messed that up. Sorry, it's opposition. It's Leo.
Oh, well, no, okay, so that's not a problem. I mean, I do have Leo rising, so.
I mean, it's a good line. A line of sight is a line of sight.
I'm surprised you weren't going to get your sun sign tattooed on you or your moon or something.
You're talking to me?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. You're an
I
astrologer.
probably should have got the sun tattooed on it so I could, because sun in Aquarius in the seventh house is not exactly, if you're looking at it from a traditional point of view, the strongest sun you could ever have.
Sure, you have 5 planets in Aquarius. You definitely need an Aquarius tattoo.
No, I don't.
All right, fine.
How
No,
about a
no,
Saturn?
the
How about a
tattoo. I could traumatize the tattoo artist because I would be like in the good old days when I used to get my hair pulled through a cap for highlights. They used to call me the screamer, which was a bit of an exaggeration because I never really screamed. But oh my god, it was like torture. So I can only imagine what it would be like getting a tattoo. So I saved myself and the tattoo artist, any potential tattoo artist, a lot of pain and suffering.
Oh my God, you just scream in their ear. I wonder, I mean, I'm sure they experienced that, but yeah, that brings it, well, I won't say that. Okay,
Why not?
I was gonna say that brings a whole new meaning to she's a screamer. Okay, but whatever. Um, okay. Have you ever gambled?
Um, well, I've Saturn the second, and
Oh,
it's quincunx Jupiter, ruler of the fifth. So my idea of gambling is to go to a casino, which I've only done about 3 or 4 times in my whole life, and spend if the $20 is gone, I'm out of there. Like it's just not my thing.
hmm. You're frugal, is what you're trying to say.
Not when it comes to clothes, shoes, and making myself look pretty. Well, although I would, there's certain.
said the Leo ascendant.
That's right.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I'm not so vain that I would actually have a facelift. Like I was watching the Oscars the other night, and I saw Demi Moore, and she probably has had pretty good plastic surgery done. But it's like she still doesn't look like she did when she was younger. And my attitude is I'm pretty sure they're going to come along with some techniques in the next 5 or 6 or 10 years or whatever. They're going to make it easier to me to get rid of some things like my. But I don't think about it so much that it drives me crazy. I'm
Hmm.
I'm so Leo rising. It's hair. It's my hair.
Yeah. Get your hair. You get your hair done for sure. Yeah.
Yes, I after the accident that I had, it's almost 4 years ago, and then I dealt with because I don't know if I said this before, but I fell on my face and
You
I
haven't
had
told Rachel that. Yeah, it was a
I had
former.
a concussion,
Wow.
Yeah.
cracked orbital bone, broken nose, cracked jaw, and I lost 5 upper teeth
Damn.
at age 72.
Oh my gosh.
And so, but Pluto conjuncture ascendant comes in really handy for stuff like that. But when I got through I don't even remember what was the original question.
Do you gamble? I don't know how we got here. Wait, but then it turned into do you get your hair done?
Oh, that's what it was.
Lesley was gambling with gravity.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think gravity won that one. I don't think I had a chance with that one, but that was funny, Rachel.
That gives the sideline to the fact that Lesley wants to make a podcast that's called Things I Learned from Falling on My Face. So that's going to be a playlist on her podcast.
One of these years when I kind of, all this Pisces energy, quite a lot of it wandering around in my eighth house with Mercury retrograde isn't exactly the best time to be making decisions. Outward stuff.
So what does your Saturn Virgo have to do with getting your hair done?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, it does. Because after I got all the physical healing stuff done, then the anxiety kicked in. And so one of the ways that I decided to self-care was to get my hair done every week because it was one of the things that was really, really stressing me out because I've never really enjoyed doing it. And then you mix a whole bunch of anxiety in there, and then it's like, oh my God, and then because that's Saturn and Virgo, and you asked why, what it had to do with getting my hair done, I'm a perfectionist.
Mm. Now I know why your hair always looks done. It never looks like it's growing out or whatever. You do it every week.
Yeah, and then I get then I get the full meal deal, color deal, which actually happens this week, once every 6 weeks.
Oh.
But that's because I was traumatized when I was growing up. I had, you just don't want to hear about all the things about my hair that traumatized me.
Oh, I'm curious about the hair story, please.
Well, I've always had a thing about my hair, even when I was a little girl. There was one picture that I remember that was taken at school, and I looked, even when I got older, I looked at it. How come my mother never got my hair cut properly before I had that photograph?
So Saturn and Virgo, there's a definitely right way to do it. Yeah. But I think the Pluto and Leo rising would like to have a nice hairstyle. I mean, that is very Leonian, is your main.
Well, yeah, and actually, I give thanks for the fact that I do have Leo rising,
Yeah.
and my sun is, if you were looking at from a horary point of view, would be considered accidentally dignified because it's angular. Look at
Oh.
me showing off my astrology.
Well, we talk astrology here. We definitely our target market is advanced astrologers. So
Oh, that's good. So,
yeah.
so yeah, from
We do this every time we talk about charts because we got in trouble. There was someone on our show who like got annoyed with us for talking about their chart, and we're like, we need a
oh,
bender. We're just
oh,
like, we talk about charts here. That's what we do. Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I enjoy astrological conversation, especially if it's intelligent and not just a list of everything that's in your chart. Do have one pet peeve though.
Oh,
And when I go to astrological conferences, it's like, here's my moon Pluto opposition. Um, if you're going to tell me all the transits that are going on in chart, that doesn't really tell me anything unless you communicate how you experienced
yeah, right.
transits, right? Because it's like, and yeah,
I love that when astrologers are like giving you, you're like, how are you doing? How are you feeling? And they're like, I'm doing Saturn conjunct my Mars, and you're like, you're being mathematical right now, not emotional. You have to tell me how you're doing. Okay, Rachel,
yeah.
what's your next question?
Oh, let's see. What book are you currently reading?
Which kind?
Any kind. I mean, this is
What do you
a
mean, what kind? What kind? The book with pages in it.
No subject matter.
it
Oh,
can
I
be like, I mean,
I
really what's
read Regency romance because I'm pretty sure I had a past life then.
okay.
what's
So the
Regency
real,
romance?
oh, it's
Uh,
all about Regency England.
Oh,
Um, and I don't read any other romance novels, just that particular historical period. I love mysteries. So, and astrologically, I'm currently reading Daniel Fiverson's book on Eris. And then I got Babs Kirby, and I can't remember the other author, um, just put out a book on
who's calling?
my friend in London. She called
Do you
yesterday
want
when
to
you and I
answer?
were having a production.
Do you
Huh?
want to answer the phone so she can be on the
No,
show? No, all right, fine.
no, because she won't want to be on the show. So she
All
lives in
right,
she lives in London, England. It's 10:30 at night.
all right, all right.
Let's overdo it. Hey, I know all about that. Moon and Jupiter conjunct oppose Pluto.
Yeah, that's true.
I,
We're here to
you know,
overdo it.
it's funny because recently I recognize that I always tend to want to overdo it with food. Oh,
Really?
I can just have one more bite, or I can just have one more treat, or I can. Yeah.
Don't I can tell you about the bulimic chart I dealt with once, but that's another story. Okay, let's talk about your shoe size. What is your shoe size?
Um. Well, my foot. When my foot is a 7.5 triple A.
Oh,
I've got
that's
a
so
very narrow foot.
cute. That's kind of small. I think you'd have skis because you're so
No.
large and in chart. Like my brother, that's what my brother calls big fit. He's like, check out my skis.
Have you looked at my bone structure?
All
I
right.
always say it's all that is a sign of aristocratic breeding, even though there's no aristocrats in my family. As
I
far
see
as
what you
I'm
did
aware,
there, aristocrat. I see what you did there.
Leo rising.
All right, Rachel.
Okay, I was on your website and I noticed that there were a lot of P's happening. you, as the path revealed, it was passionate and practical. And I just was curious about your relationship with the letter P.
Whoa, Rachel's killing it with these questions. Okay.
I don't know if it was something you did on purpose. Huh?
Ah! You used
Well,
the
first
P,
of all,
Rachel.
first of
Plenty
all,
of P's. Sorry.
could I answer the question, please?
No.
I don't know. I think you
Please,
need to
for
add presence.
please.
Please.
Please on the P's. All right, let's go.
Okay, so because I've been a writer all my life,
Mhm.
I like alliteration. And I also believe that my moon opposed Pluto has a really deep, intense, passionate expression. I always think that Scorpio is all about your passion. So, and Pluto. So, and I have Saturn in Virgo. That's practical.
Yeah.
I don't know that I have a particular relationship with the letter P, but that was a really good question, though, Rachel. I really like that. Made me think.
Oh yeah, that was not your everyday question. That was not
No.
how
It was a
Well,
pleasing answer.
Oh, there you go.
It was
Well,
the perfect answer.
it was very particular, that question.
Oh, look how good we are! Oh my god, the air girls are on. We're flying high. Okay, what is your Myers Briggs?
I don't know.
What, you don't know if you're like an EN? I think you're an ENFJ. That's what I
Which
think. You are.
is?
That'd be extrovert, intuitive, thinker, judger.
I okay, so in Myers-Briggs, what do they mean by judger? Because you know how I feel about the word judge.
Well, it's like you're more logical than what's the is the other one P?
P. Perceiver.
Well, you're probably a P because you like P because you don't particularly like.
We're back to that again, are we? Could we just drop it? I did a Myers-Briggs. I can't remember when, and my first response to that was astrology is better.
Oh, 1000%. You could be cyclically an E or an I, like depending on your transit.
Well,
Mhm.
to me, and obviously based on what you've said, if I did it, it was a long time ago, and they've obviously expanded some of their categories or whatever. But I always have a bit of a problem, anyways, because I have 5 planets in Aquarius, and I don't like labels, and I don't always like categories either, which is why I love astrology, because it is so complex and it offers such a breadth of expression that that's why I would say I can tell you what my chart is, but that doesn't mean you know who I am, because there are so many different ways to express energy, the energies that we work with in astrology, which is why like for me, I look forward to meeting the client so I can actually see how it is the energy that I've seen in their chart manifests itself, how they express it. And I've done sessions for people who are living off a small portion of their chart because for whatever reason they've chosen to not experience those things consciously. Because everything's going to show up one way or the other, whether you want it to or not. Yeah.
Okay. You did a lot of relationship astrology in the past, yes? You like relationship astrology?
I love relationship astrology, which gives me the opportunity to say that I'm going to be doing an article for the collector's edition of TMA for UAC on the why relationship, looking at the purpose of relationship, and I created my own particular process for having a look at that, how to break it down, and how then to put it all back together. So I've done webinars, and I actually spoke on it about that at Norwalk. I just can't remember what year, and I just have never written about it, so that's going to be exciting.
Yes.
And for everyone who's listening, TMA is the Mountain Astrologer.
Yes, sorry about that. Yeah. I made an assumption, and you think as a former journalist I would know better than that.
You're going to write an article on the purpose of partnership. Sorry, I had to make it 2 P's.
I'm sorry, but that's not what it's going to be called. I'm sorry to disappoint you.
There's 2 peas and disappointed. I really am happy about that. I'm sorry, I'm perseverating on peas. Okay.
Wait. I didn't really get to ask my question,
Okay.
which is I read something a while back, and it's always stuck with me. And someone was writing that life is more about pheromones over placements. And in terms of like this chemistry we have in person is more important before you look at the placements in your chart. And I was curious what you thought about that phrase, pheromones over placements.
Well,
Just to bring more peas into the question.
Yeah, I know I was going to say that, but
we have to stop on peas. Just kidding. All right.
You have these lists of like catchphrases.
I don't really understand why people think so. You should. Well, first of all, I would never. I would want to meet the person in person. And of course, in this day and age with online dating, that makes it hard because you never know you're actually talking to a person's representing themselves as they really are. But not that people in person can't. Oh God, I'm losing myself down a rabbit hole. So I'm just going to back up a little bit and say that, of course, meeting the person is paramount.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I did it. I wasn't intending to do it. I'm defending
myself. Wasn't on purpose.
Oh.
This show is brought to you by the letter P.
I could do piss off.
Oh my God.
Oh, pretty please. Okay.
Oh, double P. Pretty please. Like, seriously. Okay. We have got to stop with the P's because they're detracting from the L, which is Lesley.
Well, you know, I love words, so you want to play that word game? Let's go. Although I think I'm running out of P words, so don't know how I could get the word pear in there.
There are perpetual P words, and you know it.
Oh, God. Wait, okay, this is taking up way too much space, and I haven't really answered Rachel's question.
Well, you answered the question.
Well, I mean, both are important, yes, but like.
Yeah, but I don't. To me, how can you separate them out? I mean,
yeah.
And I don't think it's just pheromones that attract you to someone. I think there's something deeper going on.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on what. Oh God.
Well, I think the phrase was coming from the good place.
No, I was going to say it depends on your perception.
That's phenomenal.
Your feeling about what really, again, the purpose of relationships in your life, because it's not the same for everybody. It's just not the same. And so, you know, honestly, I don't really like either or questions.
Well, let's pivot to a different question, which is, are you right or left-handed?
Right-handed.
Right-handed, okay.
I can write with my left hand. It takes me a while, but you can read it.
Okay, and what kind of car do you drive?
Oh, I have a perfect car for an astrologer and intuitive. It's a Buick, for God's sakes. Envision Essence.
Oh, Envision Essence! Are you kidding me?
Oh,
did you do that on purpose?
Well, no. Well, there's a story behind that. So, my previous car was a sport touring model. It was a Buick too, and she was black, and I named her Lilith. And
whoa,
so
Black Moon Lilith car.
So then the dealership kept on reaching out to me. Well, are you interested in trading your car in? And blah blah blah. And I really didn't think I was. And then of course I should have known as soon as, because they tried this for like 3 or 4 months, and I walked into the showroom. I don't think I'm getting a new vehicle. As soon as I saw the one I have now, which is an SUV, and I said, I will never drive an SUV. Anyway.
Awesome.
I took one look. It was like love at first sight. The number one thing that recommended it, other than the energy, was because where I live, being able to plug in your block heater is very important because it gets really cold here. And they had the place for you to plug in your You didn't have to lift up the hood and do all that stupid nonsense. It was on the outside of the car. So that made my Saturn and Virgo so happy. It's like, yes. Then I sat in it and I knew that it was mine. What was the original? Oh, so anyway, and I named him Merlin.
Wait.
That's your cat's name, Andrea.
I know. Wait, but hey, so you didn't actually pick the card because it's called an Envision Essence?
No, I didn't know that until they told me.
That is trippy. That is what astrologers do, is we envision essence. That is so cool. What color is it?
It's a silver gray, I guess. And that's also gray not being my favorite color. It's sparkly. It's got a little sparkle on the... I keep on thinking that I would like to get it repainted a different color, and the card keeps on telling me that's not acceptable.
Oh, interesting.
Well, I do have Mars and Neptune in the 3rd house.
Oh, interesting. So you are psychic with your car. I've been declaring that the P game is over now. If we hear P words, we won't even react, okay?
That's not very practical when it comes to...
Oh my God! Seriously? Don't even. Okay.
Are you keeping us from partaking of the thing that makes us laugh?
We're trying to be serious here. It's a grill.
Okay.
We're at the barbecue. Okay, Rachel.
All right, I do have a fun question. If you could acquire one new skill instantly, what would it be?
That's a really good question. What popped up is paint. I'd like to be able to paint.
Did you really pick that on purpose? Jeez, you're killing me. You're killing me.
You asked a question. I answered it. I was not even thinking about the letter P. Maybe that's why I hesitated. Because
I tried to declare the game over, and you guys won't let it die. Okay, so you're gonna paint like watercolor paint, or what kind of paint?
I don't know.
We're officially having a laughing attack on this show. I don't know that's ever happened on a Moira Price show.
Well, it happened the last time I did this 2 weeks ago. We left the whole time.
You know, are you going to be a house painter?
No, that's boring.
Are you going to paint?
What other skill? Well, when I was a little girl, I wanted to be a ballerina.
A dancer.
I think. Oh, I love dancing. Oh my God! Like every year when I go to Norwalk, it's like, hurry up Saturday night so I can go dancing.
So you can prance around?
I was going to say, are you a prancer? But I didn't, because I was following the rule.
Well, now Rachel's being the one that's following the rule. I didn't say the P word.
That's it. We're gonna.
I don't even know what it means to be a prancer, because as soon as you say that, all I can think of is a reindeer.
All right, you guys, we got a new letter in the mix here. No,
well, you like dancing. Sometimes dancing can be like, if you're not serious about it, can be seen as prancing around. But I love dancing, and dancing is very much.
We want to know if you shake a tail feather.
You mean you haven't seen me dance at Norwalk? Well, no, I'm serious, because one year there were people, I'm standing on the side, and it was some dance tune that was popular at the time. I don't remember what it was. And I heard someone, wow, look at her dancing. She even knows the words to the song. I'm not dead. I might be vintage.
Wow, I would go antique shopping for you. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's see. A serious question now. Let's get serious, ladies.
Okay.
How do you prepare for a chart reading?
Well, okay, I have a series of techniques that I kind of developed myself. So, and I don't, and I just have the chart printed out. I don't have any graphs or any aspect thingamajiggies. I don't have any of that. I do it all myself.
Aspectarian.
That. Because that's the way I get to know the chart, is by eyeballing it. First of all, when I first started studying astrology, there were no computer programs. And so if you wanted to do an aspectarian, you had to do it yourself. And for me, it was just easier to look for the major aspect configurations, and then go from there. So I look at the elemental breakdown. I look at the house breakdown, like how many planets are in fire, earth, air, and water, whatever. So I do that, and then I look at the planet at the earliest degree that I call the gateway planet. I keep thinking I might change it. I started calling it the scout planet, and then I realized there were two other techniques in astrology called the scout planet, and I didn't want to be the third one. So the planet that's at the earliest degree is always the one that gets triggered first, either by progression or by transit. And so it has a special place in your world because it's how you initially respond to any incoming energy, right? And then you can, and I could never find out who was the person who first promoted looking at the planets by degree, not by signs or houses, just by degree. So you could see how you journey through life, like which planets come to the fore, and then which one after that, and which one after that, and which one after that. So I do a little bit of that. It's just, I tend to know, like I think, so I'm just trying to think, and then I also have a technique called the cross of matter, and where I look to see which planets rule the angle, which signs are on the angles, because that says a lot about how you're grounded on the planet. I have lots of little things to do. So the answer to your question is, I guess my preparation is not like everybody else's. I don't know what everybody else does, because that's a really interesting question, because we don't often sit down in astrology and say to a person, so how do you prepare for a chart reading? We just kind of assume, I know I do it my way. And it's, I'm fond of saying that we all practice astrology through the lens of our own chart.
Mm.
Is moon phase one of the things you look at too?
Absolutely. Sorry. Thank you for asking that. When I first started studying astrology, the moon I didn't think was talking to me as loudly. And then as life went on, I realized my moon aspects everything in my chart. So moon phases, and I actually even did a workshop on using the phases of the moon to take you deeper into consciousness, not just the personal qualities and the practical planning that can come along with the moon. So that the moon phase is really important, because it says a lot about how you engage in life, and especially since it's the moon's primary job is to interpret what the sun wants.
All right, Rachel's turn.
We're going to keep it serious here with what house systems do you use?
Mostly Placidus. Whole sign doesn't talk to me. There are some interesting things about whole sign, as Andy and I were talking about yesterday. I kind of resist whole sign, because it's enough to have a stellium and Aquarius, but to have them all in the same house seems a bit much for me.
Oh, your Placidus house separates that out a little bit for you. Huh?
Yeah. So I've got two firmly in the sixth house, and then the moon is conjunct the descendant from the sixth house, and then so I mostly used Placidus. I found it to be effective, but again, this notion that we should all be practicing astrology the same way. I think that each astrologer who commits themselves really to being a professional astrologer is going to have ways they look at the chart that are different than the way other people look at it. And I don't think I think that's perfectly fine, because I've investigated some of the techniques of traditional astrology, and I find them interesting, because I'm always curious about everything. I don't discount anything out of hand. But if I find that it's not a technique that actually speaks to me, like I will look at where the progressed moon is, but I don't pay a whole lot of attention to progressions. And there are some, I like solar returns. But then I have to say that the way I practice astrology is not particularly predictive in a sense. It's more about, inviting people to understand what's going on in their life, what they came on the planet with, where their challenges are. Um, I'm more interested in supporting them to make their own decisions as opposed to telling them what's going to happen.
I have to say, Lesley did a chart reading for me, and she predicted something correct.
Now, what was it that I predicted correctly?
Well, I asked you what I would be doing with astrology in 2026, and you said I was going to be doing more teaching, and I pretty much just I'm going to be starting a school here in Portland. I mean, like, it's just getting really crazy with how many students that I have online.
Well, I have to be honest, and this could get me into a whole lot of trouble. Pardon me. It's that flu bug that I can't seem to get rid of. I don't think you can really learn to synthesize a chart unless you're prepared to use, to be intuitive, to allow those two things to come together. Because I don't think astrology is a finite language. I think it's fluid. And so if I actually happen to predict something, it's mostly because you asked that question.
But you consider yourself to be an intuitive as well as an astrologer, right?
I do.
Yeah. Okay. I can't remember whose question it is.
Yours.
Yeah.
What is it? Oh, your turn, right? No, because I asked how she preps the chart.
Oh, yeah, they're right. Okay.
Good thing somebody's keeping track. Wasn't my Saturn in Virgo.
So speaking of Saturn in Virgo, or rather it's life experience, how have you dealt with self-criticism, and like what would be your advice for self-criticism?
Where do you think the whole there's no such thing as a mistake, just a choice that has consequences you hadn't planned on came from? I used to be able to get 3 PhDs in self-criticism. I think we're down to just 1 now.
So you've made some gains.
Why? I've tried to understand why that part is trying to protect me in some way, shape, or form, just not always in the healthiest possible way.
Say that again.
Wait, really?
No.
No.
No, I'm Lesley. What you said was fantastic. That's what I was trying to say.
That it's trying to protect me, except it's not always healthy.
Yeah.
Because I really think that we all have coping strategies that, as we get older, can turn into blockages. Because what you use to protect yourself when you're a child may not be particularly helpful when you reach, once you get past your first Saturn return. So, I'm sure there's more I could say about that, but it all went away. So,
okay, let's move to this question. Do you believe in God?
Oh, last time it was, do I believe in heaven? And now it's, do I believe in God?
Yeah.
That's a good question. Good grief. Apparently my body's going, why do I have to answer that question? I don't really want to.
Jeez. God and good grief. All right.
Don't stop.
That's great.
It was good, wasn't it?
God.
I don't.
All the air girls. It's so fun. Okay.
Where do I go with this? Do I believe in the God as represented in the Bible? Not particularly. I don't. I think that there's a divinity. That's the best I could. And I think the divinity or the source or all that is, however you want to phrase that. I mean, however you access that energy that takes you outside your human consciousness and allows you to see that this isn't all there is. I certainly believe in that. I think the last time I told you that for me, the only absolute in the universe is unconditional love, and that might be me and my Neptune, me and my moon trine Neptune, Jupiter trine Neptune. The truth is I don't really know how to describe how I experience it. I experience it as something vast seems like such a small word.
That is weird. Vast is a huge word.
If you start, to give you an example, I had an acutonic session last week, a distance one with my friend Tracy Quinlan. And so part of it was, well, I cried for 15 minutes because I've got a lot of Pluto stuff going on, Pluto and Aquarius. And then I fell asleep, and when I woke up, I had this sense that my grandfather was there. And I had this picture of him when I was a little girl. And I have been struggling with where I fit in my own family because I didn't feel really connected. And then I realized that where I got my courage and my strength was from him. And so that's not, to me, that's a divine experience. That's a gift of magnitude. It really helped me feel like I actually was like someone in my family, which is not always easy for Aquarians anyways. But does that answer make any sense to you?
No.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. Of course it did.
That wasn't nice.
I'm just messing with you, Lesley.
Well, I guess I was in my serious side and I wasn't prepared.
I know. I can only let it go on for so long. It's killing me.
What?
It's being so serious. Jeez.
Okay, let's go back.
You're the one that killed the P game.
I turned into the X game, which no one's done an X word yet. So
X-ray?
Oh yeah.
Hey, astrology is like an X-ray.
Ooh, good job. I'm gonna play my xylophone to celebrate that.
You killed me with the X. I can't think of a single X.
You can spell kill with an X. I spell a lot of words with an X that don't start with an X. Like
then you moved on to G, and we had a couple of G's, and then we just dropped that.
That's true. I guess it's the letter episode. All right. So as far as you believing in God, we still don't know if you believe in God.
Well, I don't think that God. I think God is okay. So if you wanted me to use that word, here's how I feel about it. I think God is neutral. I don't think God has an opinion one way or the other. The energy is there for you to access to support you, and I think the connection to the divine, which is I think what God is to me, the connection to the divine really does nurture you and feed you if you're open to it. But do I believe that God decides what's going to happen to me in my life? No, I don't believe that at all.
Well, I'm glad I pried because that's kind of how I see God is like that God is a concept that lives in language and people say, I think, do you believe in God is actually kind of a silly question because it's like a better question is the concept of God useful to you and does it help you? And I think, I like what you're saying is like God is a concept and a frequency to be accessed by us when we want to, but is God controlling you? That's a different.
Or just making a decision, Joe. So when something terrible happens and someone says, how could God allow this? Well, God isn't up there going, well, I'm going to decide, whether you're going to have a traumatic experience or you're not. I just.
Yeah. Okay. I'm glad I dug deeper on that. Okay, Rachel, your turn.
Speaking of useful, what is the most useful thing you own that you enjoy using?
Good grief.
It could be it could be your glasses, it could be astrology books, it could be your computer. Like, what's a useful thing you enjoy using?
Living? I don't know.
Living. I enjoy using living.
You enjoy your body. Your body is the most useful thing you own. Or you don't own it. I don't know.
Well, no, it's just that I have 7 planets and air signs. Being connected to my body isn't really that easy for me.
How about
your brainstem? Is your brainstem useful?
What the heck do you expect me to do with that?
That's like the most reptilian aspect of ourselves, right? Like,
I have an answer. My consciousness.
Ooh, your consciousness. Very useful to others as well, not just you. Well, Rachel, you're gonna be having to ask questions every week because you're really good at this questions thing.
Yeah, you are,
It's
Rachel.
fun. The grill is fun. It's just kind of like
I
a
think we should
snappy.
grill every guest. Every week should be a grill.
Well, I hope I can come on the show when I'm not being grilled.
Well, what do you want to do if we're not going to grill you?
Well, I do have opinions in case you didn't notice.
Oh, we could talk about a topic. Okay. Rachel, do you want to talk with Lesley about a topic someday?
Oh, definitely. I'm curious. What's your favorite thing to teach?
What's my
To teach
favorite?
about?
Actually, it's not astrology. Well, at
That's
least not,
fantastic.
Savage.
no, not basic astrology. Like because I know I know how my brain functions,
Mhm.
and you don't want a teacher who may or may not be bored
Yeah.
teaching basic astrology. I love teaching. Like I'm really excited about writing that piece for the Mountain Astrology, but I've taught how to connect your intuition, working with pendulums. I love the metaphysical part of things. In fact, I've taught meditation. I was actually asked, I was teaching something else, can't remember what, and a student said to me, "Could you do a meditation class because we really love your meditations?" And I thought, how the hell am I going to do that? Because speaking of that, Saturn and Virgo, we have a little bit of imposter thinking that's involved in that, and always wondering, am I good enough to do this? And fortunately for me, people have always asked me to do things, and then I discovered um, that I'm blessed that the universe or my other aspects of me just tend to download stuff.
Hmm.
So I love and I don't even call it teaching. This is maybe why I don't teach astrology. I like facilitating.
Mm-hmm.
So I enjoy mentoring people. I've taught writing. Um, so from an astrology perspective, if I was going to do something, I would probably rather um, do something for more advanced students. But right now I'm doing a podcast. Oh, and I started writing a mystery novel. So
Really?
which I had never intended. I never thought I would write fiction.
What a fun thing for your like brain to play with.
Well,
Like
and that was another
figuring out.
download. Like
Yeah.
I told Andy knows the story. Um, so I used to always wonder when I was driving down the road and I saw either a piece of clothing in the middle of the road or a shoe or whatever. And I kept on, off and on. I think, well, that would make I wonder how that got there. That might
The
make
story.
yeah. So last June, I was driving to my massage therapist's house and I saw the shoe, but it was clean. It was like looked so much brand new. And I thought, how the hell? And I, of course, did the usual inner dialogue about what's that about and blah, blah, blah. And then that night, the prologue downloaded itself out of my brain. And now I'm in the process of getting to know the characters. And in the book, I have the outline for the mystery. Now I just need to, because I don't want I don't want the characters just to be the props for the mystery. I want them to be people.
So writing has been a part of your whole life. I mean, you were a
Mm-hmm.
journalist and you've been writing astrology and you've written some astrology books even.
Yeah, two sun sign. I wrote two sun sign books for Llewellyn in the middle of the crisis that we were having in the late 2010s about should anybody write about sun sign astrology? Well, if you want to spread the knowledge of astrology,
you have to start somewhere.
And allow people to learn to tap into it and use that energy, whether they want to be astrologers or not, then you're kind of cutting your nose off to spite your face.
Yeah. So this like writing, this thing has always been with you. It's almost like a new hobby, a new aspect, a new thing has been turned over to allow writing to take a new phase in your life.
Yeah, because I used to always wonder, how do people write fiction? And I thought, because I never feel called to it when I was younger.
Yeah.
But everything has a purpose. I mean,
Yeah, sorry.
Sure. Go
I have
ahead.
one last question for you, and then we have to tell people where to find Astro Soup. Do you have a temper, and what's it look like when you get mad?
You're Mars and Libra, yeah?
Retrograde.
Aha.
Well,
Oh.
when I was younger, and I didn't really understand my Mars sextile Pluto and trying the moon, that when I get angry, it's pretty intense. And I'm more likely to verbally put you in your place as opposed to get physical. Not because I've never been physical, but I don't really like being angry. Mars and Libra is not fond of confrontation. And it took me a good proportion of my life to realize that asserting yourself is not aggression.
Wow.
No, I mean, is it something like you anger turned inward first and then?
Well, the other thing is I have Mars conjunct Neptune. I can be mad and then 10 seconds I can't remember why I got mad in the first place. It just dissipates really fast.
That's nice.
Because the air goes, all my air goes, what are you doing?
Wow. All right. Well, I'll try to make you mad someday just so I can see what it's like.
Oh, you came close a couple times in production meetings.
Stories.
Now I'm telling. Well, no, I don't even remember what it was because it was like, look, if you have as many planets in Aquarius as I do, your first response to people saying things to you that you don't agree is to resist.
Yeah.
And for me, the more I resist, the more I realize there's something important there that I need to acknowledge. But typical Aquarian, I got to think I can't believe, I can't find myself caught in doing, because South Node in Libra is also part of it.
Okay, well, I'll try harder because I want to see your temper flare. Just kidding.
I'm sure you will.
I want to say one thing, which is this Norwalk is going to be my first Norwalk.
Oh, you're going to be there. That's
going.
Yeah, I'm going.
That's exciting.
So
we can be the three witches with the cauldron in Macbeth.
Excellent. I want to say Gemini rising, Cancer rising, Leo rising.
Oh, nice. Gemini, Cancer. Yeah, y'all can be friends at Norwalk. All right, Lesley, tell people how to find Astro Soup.
Well, it's on, it's on YouTube. And if you're going to look for it on YouTube, put my name first and then Astro Soup, because there's some other channel called Astro Soup that's about gaming. And I looked at it and I thought, why did you call yourself Astro Soup? Because it's ain't no soup and there's definitely no astrology.
Okay, searching Lesley.
Yeah, the other thing, of course, is you can find me on Facebook. Lesley Francis, LesleyFrancis. And coming soon to a Facebook or Instagram near you. I'm going to, because Andy and I are going through some changes in terms of what I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to be doing more reels as soon as I feel better.
Yeah, well, you're starting to feel better. Saturn's leaving you, you're honest. Okay, you guys. This is a wonderful episode. Rachel, I love your questions. Lesley, I love your answers.
I loved all the laughter.
Participating. I had to do it.
You practical joker, you.
All right. Have a good and productive day.
Thanks again.
Peace out.
That's